music just amazing? I simply love it. It's just amazing how it can change your mood. And every single time, I'm always dancing to my intro. Thank you, everybody, for joining the Inspiring Change, the show, the talk show, the podcast. I try to make it as interesting, fun, informative as much as possible. If you don't know about Inspiring Change, well, let me give you a little bit of insight about it. Inspiring Change is taking everyday people who have taken adversity, turned it into opportunity with their tenacity. I know that's a mouthful, but honestly, with everything that's going on, there is always something that happens to us. And, my next guest, he is just simply amazing. He is DJ Yoshi, and we've just gotten to know each other over the last year. And I have to tell you, I am so impressed by this individual in all the things he does in producing, with the music, with his DJing, with his expertise. He's been able to be around the celebrities and all the different stuff. But there's just so many other layers to an individual in terms of, their connections and what they do. And it's about the human aspect. When you meet my next guest, DJ Yoshi, unless you know him already, then you are super, super blessed and already know the amazing individual that he is in terms of giving back to the community, giving back to his Filipino community, in terms of giving back to the entertainment world and all those different things. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to my amazing, wonderful friend, and now my brother, and I hope he's going to be yours too,
My
Yoshi!
sister. What's going on, Shannon? How are you?
Hey, brother, I'm very well, thank you. So, yeah, my gosh, where do we start? There's so much to say. It truly is a brother and sister relationship. You and I are like texting each other. It's like, yo, bro, what's up?
It is. It is. And it's the funny thing is when we started here during the pandemic on Twitch, it was more about us being able to express ourselves as DJs and creatives, so we don't feel cooped up and locked up and caged down where we can't play for people anymore. That's the
Right.
reason why I came to Twitch, and that's the reason why I started live streaming in the first place. It's grown to something so much more uh, deeper than that. It's been about building relationships, reestablishing old relationships that may have been broken over the years, and could have been broken because we all get busy. We understand that. So being here on Twitch and being able to meet new people like you, reconnect with my old brothers and sisters from the past, throughout the last 25 years that I've been in the music industry has been such a blessing. And thank you so much for doing what you do. Your show is truly inspiring, and I'm so happy that I could be a part of it.
Oh, I'm so honored you said yes. So you always have this blurb that you say or throughout the Twitch, about the different thing. Can you touch a little bit on who you are and what you've done? Because I mean, you just say it so fluidly. I was going to add it to the banner here, but it's your moniker. So
That's a part of the cadence. As someone in radio and someone who works in with television, that I actually have an issue stuttering,
no
and I
way.
had a speech impediment when I was younger, to the point where when I first started microphone work on radio and in sports, they had to send me for training on how to speak on a microphone. Right? Funny. The most of the people that come in now, they're like, "Well, we know you because of your voice, or we know you because of your cadence." So fast forward, rewind it all the way back. Hey guys, my name is DJ Yoshi. I'm from New Jersey, originally born in New York City, NYU. Shout out to all my NYU and Lower East Side people. And then after that, my parents took us over to the suburbs. So I grew up in Jersey, predominantly in Jersey City, and I've been in the music industry pretty much since 1997. I was 16 years old, spinning my first club in New York, not knowing what to do. And through the grace of God and being able to meet the proper people and being in touch with the right management and being at the right place at the right time and seizing those opportunities, uh, it's led me to a career in sports, a career in nightlife, in music production, and now here on Twitch with you guys.
That's incredible. What started your love of DJing or music?
My brother, actually. So, my brother's older, and our love of music really wasn't a love of music to begin with. It was more like traditional Filipino parents. Here's a piano, here's a trumpet, here's a clarinet. You're going to learn how to play these things. So initially, it started out with learning how to play the piano, and then it became you're going to play the trumpet in school, which then became learn how to play the guitar later during grade school. And when my brother graduated eighth grade, my parents said, "All right, we're going to give you $1,000. Go do with it what you want to do." He bought DJ equipment, and it wasn't the greatest equipment. It was, two Gemini turntables and a Gem Sound mixer. Shout out to the DJs who are in the chat right now who actually understand what the Gemini equipment actually is, what we were talking about. And that's how it began. And when my brother was going out, I was still in sixth grade. So he would be out with friends in high school, and I would have nothing to do. It's just like my parents were like, your curfew is 8:30, 9 o'clock. You're home. So what am I doing for the next 3 hours until I go to sleep? I'd sneak downstairs, little wiggy wiggy. It was horrible. I would record myself, and more as I did it, I was like, man, I still have no idea what I'm doing. Um, my brother started DJing, uh, like little prom parties, basement parties, house parties, school dances, and I would watch how other people who were seasoned and people who used to battle in DJ battles on how they used to DJ. And that's really how I got my start and my love for it. I'm a person that likes to understand how things work, and not just understand how things work, but try to go in and perfect how something works. So I'm not the best technically as a scratcher or as a mixer, but as a selector of music on how it makes you feel, that's what I try to perfect.
Yeah. Have you ever gone back and listened to your old recordings to, the original ones way back when to where you are now and go, "Ooh, thank God."
Shannon, I released my first mixtape in 1998,
For
and
wait. For those young kids there, yes, we used to
uh,
have tapes.
mixtape. I don't even have any mixtapes. I have CDs now. I released my first mix CD in 2000 when I thought that was groundbreaking technology, right?
Yep.
I got my first MP3 in 2000. I released the first CD that I had in 2000. And coming to where it is now, people are just like, what the hell is a mixtape?
Yeah.
Well, guys, we used to release things on a cassette. We would record, and there was no studio gear back then that was affordable, right? So when I was doing a 90-minute mixtape, 45 minutes on each side, you guys know what's up, the Maxell metal tapes. You had to do it flawlessly for 45 minutes, or you hit stop, you rewind it, and you record it all over again. So shout out to my parents for not minding me blasting the music at 3, 4 in the morning because I would keep on screwing up the mixtapes. But
Okay.
I still listen.
Speaking of screwing up the mixtapes, I'm the girl who would have the cassette player listening to the radio and would record my favorite song on the cassette tape, and then nothing would irritate me more when the radio announcer would like interrupt in between the song or near the end or at the beginning, and I'd be, no, darn it.
I think that's how everybody tried to get like the new Janet Jackson, and then oh shit,
Yeah.
Clue and Flex messed it up by hitting it with a bomb.
Yeah, it's like they knew. I think that was a sign of the times. Oh, well, okay. So, it starts as a hobby. You're thinking, okay, what the heck am I going to do with my time? And then it evolves into this incredible career of, with my goodness, like the people that you have actually worked for, and you've worked for major brands like Ferrari and Hermes and Donna Karan, and then you get to work with artists like Mariah Carey, Mary J. Blige, Sean Paul, John Legend. Like how on earth does that, like, how does that happen? For maybe there's an aspiring DJ here and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, you know what, I want to know how does that happen? Is it what who being at the right place at the right time, working your butt off? What is that?
So it was really a marriage of luck, opportunity, relationships. Luck, opportunity, and relationships, and of course being prepared. So taking it back to my first residency, I used to spin at a place called the Tunnel in New York. Legendary nightclub. Funk Flex holding it down on the main floor. On the basement floor, Scissorhands and Riz, also known as the Crooklyn Clan, which they were pretty much the first remixers and hip hop producers that would take records and remix them as party breaks. I would play the top floor of the Tunnel. Small little room, house, hip hop, reggae. My first big break at the Tunnel, the promoters asked me, "Do you mind, Flex is running late at Hot. Do you mind going to the main floor and playing a set down there until he gets there?" I was like, "Yeah, shit, why not?" They bring me downstairs, and mind you guys, I'm like 17, 18 years old at the time. Bringing me back. I get a tap on the shoulder, and it's a black gentleman and an entourage of like two people, and he's like, "Hey, I'm so and so. Can you play this record?" The person who tapped me on the shoulder, I had met 2 years previously when I was DJing at another residency, which was Club Speed. Funny enough, Flex was in the main room at Speed that night. And, Mariah Carey, Mace, Kim, like basically Puff, the whole Bad Boy family shows up. I get a tap on the shoulder when I'm 17 at the time, and they're like, "Hey, I'm so and so." Whatever. I was 17 years old. I had no idea what to do. I had really just started playing in clubs. I was not ready for that relationship. So I didn't even call. Fast forward to 2 years when I'm at the Tunnel rocking, and it's still beyond me that I'm at the Tunnel rocking, because this is where legendary albums were recorded. Funk Flex Live at the Tunnel is one of the best mixtape albums, hands down, that you could have ever listened to as a DJ. The name of the gentleman who tapped me on the shoulder to play the record is Harv Pierre. For those who don't know who Harv Pierre is, his name is Harv Joe Hooker Pierre. Tap it into your Google right now. Harv Joe Hooker Pierre is Puffy's right-hand man.
Oh my gosh.
And the track that he wanted me to play that was meant for Flex was Black Rob Woe.
No.
So he gave me his card, and that's when I said, "Man, this is the second time. I got to call him now." I was a little shook at first. I gave Harv a call, and he's just like, "Oh, thanks for playing the record. Why don't you come into the office, and we can get you laced up with Bad Boy stuff." Let alone, they do this for DJs all the time. They service DJs all the time. That was actually how I was introduced to what record servicing was. So, what people don't understand, record servicing is when you have a influential club DJ, an influential radio DJ, or a mixtape DJ, and the labels would just send them drops, send them mixtapes. Send them drops for their mixtapes or radio shows, or send the vinyl. Mm-hmm. They brought me in there. They introduced me to somebody named June Balloon and a person by the name of Henrock. June and Henrock were like, "Oh, do you know so-and-so? What other labels service you?" That's always the number one question. What other labels were servicing you at the time? And I said, "Honestly, I guess you guys now." And like, "Oh, we got to fix that. Yoshi, we got to fix that. Yo, go see this man over here. Go see Kev Inca over at RCA. Shout out to Kev Inca. Go see Russ Jones. Cedric Crawley over at Jive. Chris Green. Baby Paul. And go see this man, Jose Lopez over at Murder Inc. And you want to go see this guy, Nathan Sheard, at Sony." Nathan Sheard was just coming off of touring with Lauryn Hill and the Fugees. Now,
That's
at the time,
huge.
it would have been Lauryn Hill just by herself on her solo
Yep.
career.
Yep.
Nathan Sheard was Epic's director of college radio promotion. Nathan Sheard and I struck up a conversation. He came to one of my parties and one of my clubs. He said, "Dude, I gotta fuck with you." He said, "Let's go." Like whatever. I just want to be able to do records with people. Spin records and earn these things, earn the platinum plaques.
Yeah, what I love about this show is, the whole premise for inspiring change and bringing this to Twitch, even though I know it's unconventional, because, we get the notifications, we come on, we get to be with you, and, I wanted to dissect the human behind the artist who is bringing us the music and creating our mood for us.
Yeah.
So, it's digging deep in something and getting that rarity or more insight as opposed to just the 1 hour, 2 hours that we want to get to know you and to know that work. First of all, shout out for the One Love on your t-shirt, Jamaica. I just came back from Jamaica, so thanks for representing. It's just really that opportunity, and that's what we want to be able to bring to the whole Twitch community. There are so many other artists. I'm going to call you artists because this is a labor of love. This is your so much time behind the scenes as you talk about Discord and all the different things that you bring together. There's so much more to what we see when we watch you on Twitch, right? It's just incredible. Yeah, so I hope that everybody's watching is going, wow, wow, Yosh.
Yeah,
um
I've been super blessed, and
yeah.
I don't say that lightly. I know it's a term that's really become cliche. Oh, I'm super blessed. But in reality, when I think about my life and I reflect on the past 25 years, March marks 25 years for me as a professional DJ. When I go back and I think about how I was in a certain place at a certain time, armed with a mixtape or a CD, and the ability to strike a conversation with somebody or attempt to relate to somebody, that's really what propelled me to where I am now. Uh, Nathan taught me. Nathan became my first manager, by the way, guys, and that really was the hook. That was when we worked together. That was the perfect marriage of client, manager, best friend, confidant, and of course, he's 10 years older than me, so a protege, and he taught me how to act properly in the industry, how to get your heart and your mind and your spirit ready because the industry will break you if you're not ready for that. I mean, shit, I think the industry caused my first panic attack. Right.
Well, and
And it,
I was gonna say as well, it's a very fickle industry. How, like, you mentioned something very huge, and excuse me for interrupting.
mm,
Trust. How
mm-hmm.
how how do you trust somebody so explicitly in an industry that could easily take that mixtape as their own or whatever? Like, is it an instinct? Is it an instinct? Is it like, how do you do that when you're
Yeah,
just starting
so
out?
my wife will tell you, Shannon, that I believe that everybody is inherently good to a fault to where I get taken advantage of. Right? So I'll keep giving myself or doing things for other people to the point where, yeah, sometimes people take advantage of me. I've always considered myself a better friend to other people than other people have been friends to me. And that's okay because that's what I give off in the world. And that's what I'm accepting of in the world. And I know eventually, God's going to bless me, and God has blessed me with everything that I've been able to not only achieve but set new goals and live a life that I never thought that I could live. Growing up, my parents always said, turn the other cheek, turn the other cheek, turn the other cheek. Just keep trusting, just keep trusting. God's going to give it to you. God's going to give it to you. God will not put you through it unless he's going to bring you through it. So to trust people at their word from the minute I meet them, that's normally what I do. Until they show me that they can't be trusted. And Nathan showed me repeatedly that, he can't be trusted and he should be trusted. And he was actually the first person, hey, so and so is playing here. I got you the opening spot. You're going to open for John Legend. Oh, cool. John's that was before John Legend became John Legend, by the way. John was on his first tour. He got me in to do mixtapes for Epic Records, mixtapes for Bad Boy. Shout out to Charles Dixon over at Columbia, who got me to do things for them also. And it was that one relationship and being able to trust that one person that eventually, when Nathan left the music industry and I had to trust another manager, that's when I got taken advantage of. And yeah, I don't even want to mention who that person was. But that person was taking a large percentage and they were charging their percentage on top. So what they were in fact doing is they were inflating my price to other people and they were taking like 40% while giving
Wow.
me the same amount that I've been accustomed to, which is still a good amount, in general, but that's something that's super illegal.
So, okay, so no names because we don't need any lawsuits as I'm just starting out. However, that is a very great point to come up with because now you have a really great experience and then you had that really awful experience. So now those two are learning lessons, right?
Yes,
So
they are.
what did you take from that really bad experience? And this is the whole point again of inspiring change. We all have a story. We all face crap. We all face adversity. We need to be tenacious in nature. How do we overcome that? So now you're woke, as they say. So what
Yes.
did you take from that experience and go, oh heck no, I'm never going to let that happen again? What
Yeah,
did you
so
do?
that brought us to around 2013 when I discovered this. I did not touch another manager until 2016. Um, my career outside of music, like music will always be my first passion and my first love. My career is actually in healthcare. For those who don't know, I manage and I negotiate group purchasing contracts for the state of New Jersey in healthcare.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what I do during the day, and my time there is my time away from DJing, and my time DJing is my time away from there. So it balances out each other perfectly. Learning how to negotiate contracts in healthcare, which are hundreds of millions of dollars, uh, one deal that's potentially close to $1 billion that we're currently working on. I started to apply that to my own career, where it's like, okay, I learned how to negotiate. I know how to negotiate, these $100 million contracts. Why can't I just apply that to my own career? So that's what I started doing. The reason why you use a manager is one, so you're never the asshole. It's the number one reason, guys. And two, for the contacts, right? You help them financially, they help you financially also because they do it through their contacts. Eventually, I was able to trust my third manager. Shout out to Ari. Um, Ari taught me about the next stage of life for me, which was focused more on sports and luxury branding because that's his niche. And we took that and we applied it to my time. When I signed on with the Devils, when I signed on to Big Ten, and uh, music production. That was what he was good at. He's worked with so many platinum acts that he's the one who got me thinking. Have you thought about producing? And I was like, yeah, I've always wanted to do it. And he's like, dude, go buy yourself a Mac for home and just do it. So then I built myself a studio PC that sits over here. I watched YouTube tutorials, and Ari, thank you so much, because I learned how to produce music, and that's the next stage in life for me.
Yeah,
And
it's really cool because, my bestie is Thea Austin from previous of Snap, and you and I were talking about all the different opportunities and stuff. So it's just really cool to be able to bounce ideas off you. I just wanted to go back a little bit to
yeah,
what you said about trust, about trust. So that is a really good segue into our relationship or things that I've applied into my own life because I find what happens for anyone young and old listening right now is when you do that and you set those boundaries, and your parents were absolutely right. Keep trusting because everybody is different, and eventually along the way, we are going to find those individuals who have the same set of values and principles. And I think that's why you and I clicked so quickly and qualitatively because we recognize the same values in each other. First
hmm
of all, there's no BS between us. We say exactly what it is in a respectful manner. And we know that what we speak is truth. But we're also we're business people, but we're also heart based. And what I find in that experience is when you put that energy out there, like seeks like.
that's
And
right.
and then the relationships are this is something I teach my children. The relationships are quality, not it's not quantity, and they're real.
Yes,
They're real.
yes,
Like I know 100% when I said, "Hey, I'm thinking of going on Twitch, and I'm thinking of, becoming I want to go on and I want to make these bits." And cuz Altruistic Shannon, what she does is, if you don't know about me, thank you for tuning in.
she goes
Uh
crazy, guys.
I'm a little generous with the
She goes
bits.
crazy.
Yeah, altruistic Shannon is truly that. Look up altruistic. And, again, I want to reward people who have gone through adversity, or, I'm on here because of one particular individual, and what he does with all his bits and subs is he helps feed the homeless. And that is my start to Twitch. And I didn't, I mean, outside of it being a software that I thought my son was on for gaming and that,
Mm.
why not bring that different realm? But I digress. So all the bits and subs, for me becoming affiliate, and by supporting the Twitch community, like DJs, like Yoshi and other people, this is the whole premise of why I want to do this. Anyway, as soon as I said I want to
And we,
become,
we we truly thank you for
you're
the first
welcome.
time that you did that. I was like, what the hell is she doing, man? And the second time that you do it, I was like, okay, she just never has to do this ever again. Like I will fly up there and I will DJ a party for her for free.
Honestly, it brings me joy. It it brings me joy that
You've
you
made me
guys.
cry. You've legit made me cry on stream where I had to turn the camera off because I'm like sitting here sobbing, tears running down. Um, all the money that I get from Twitch gets reinvested back into the stream and
Mhm.
reinvested back into other streamers on Twitch. Because just like you, I like seeing people smile. So yeah, I subscribe to my Twitch bill is right around $1,500 a month,
Yeah. Yeah,
which is
I'm trying to
crazy.
figure out how to make sure I can make it a charitable charitable foundation.
You can
But
actually
yes.
you can write your Twitch bill off, especially now that you're a streamer here. You can write your Twitch bill off.
Yes. Yes, I've
So
hired a new
yes,
accountant to do just that.
yes, your accountant
Uh,
should be able to do that because my accountant's like, he's oh, you're bringing in this extra money from Twitch, and then he goes through my bank records and he's just like, you're not saving that money. And I said, why should I? I was like, well, I came on here so I can express myself and I can DJ and I can make other people smile. So if I can make other people smile by playing music and I can make other people smile by financially gifting back to them, because I'm lucky. Shannon, I'm lucky. I have a career in healthcare that if I were to not be doing this, fulfills my soul, fulfills my heart, and I make a good amount of money doing it, right? So I get compensated well doing that. So if I could survive and live and thrive off of that, and this is just extra, then why not give back the extra to not have excess? Because there are other people out there who didn't work, who didn't DJ for 2 years, who still are scared to get back into a club, or still are not getting booked in a club or getting booked for private events. And Twitch is how they survive. So if they can make an extra $500,000 a month, I've been in their situation where I had no money. So I understand that, when people like the homie DJ Little Fever, who has no shame about telling people like, hey, this is the situation that he is in, then it's like, okay, like let's try to make him smile. And if there's one thing that you can do, that I can do as a Catholic, is to be better, not only for myself, but better for the world, and make the world a better place. If it means just making one person smile every day, then that's my mission, that's my goal, and that's what I want to do.
I did not wear my waterproof makeup, so stop it. So
Yeah, that just made my heart go.
um, I was just gonna say, when I do the gifts and I do the subs, and it's really fun for me. You're in your groove, and then you just stop, or any DJ, and you just stop, like you totally forget what the heck you're doing. And then some people in the chat are like, "Oh my God, I've never seen 100 gift subs," or "Oh my God, I've never seen,
A
somebody
10,000 bit
give 20,
donation.
yeah, 10,000 bit." Okay, to my defense, it's not my fault. Whoever created that heart emoji with the barfing rainbow is a genius, because
Yeah.
that's my favorite. That's my favorite. So my friend Mark will attest to that. I just like to just drop them. But I love to follow you online to see who you're supporting, because I know you're so heart-based. And because of that, like every time you guys raid into somebody else, I know, because we are all the same integrity, that, when I log into them, I don't know, I can't remember the name of the other individual, but he said yes to being my guest, by the way. When they overcome adversity, whether it's depression, whether it's heart attack, stroke, whatever they've come, and then the music is the healing common source to all of us, whatever it is throughout our day. And to be able to highlight that, which is why I'm feeling so emotional right now,
Mm-hmm.
because music is therapy for everyone. And it's almost like we're all coming together, uh, you know, even in this really crappy time right now, as we're kind of seeing things come together, which is great. But thanks for being able to be that glue. And I love being able to come in. That was fun. The other guy he's just DJing around, and he's like, "Oh, great, we're at level 5," and you're like, "No, dude, you don't understand."
Jay Dobby, that's my guy.
Yes.
Jay Dobby. Shout out to Jay Dobby. He was our music director at 92.3 before they flipped formats. Jay is a great guy, Indian DJ, Queens based, house music, trop house, trap, and of course like Bhangra. So whenever we have like an Indian DJ, an Indian wedding to DJ, and guys, if you haven't spun an Indian wedding, they're insane. It's like 1,000 people over 3 days. But you got to get the music right. Jay Dobby is always the guy that we go to. Hey Jay, any new shit that we should have? And then he's just like, "Yo, I got you." And then he'll send a drive, or a link to a drive over that has like all like the new Bhangra and Indian club stuff that you should mix. And he's like, just you could just match up the beat and go in blind. And the first big Indian wedding that I did, I hit Jay up, and he's just like, "Oh, I got sent me like 2 terabytes," and I was like, "Man," I was like, "There's like 40 songs here," and he's just like, "Yeah, just play them in order." They thought I was like they thought I was the shit. Like, "Oh man, like, yo, how come you're not killing it in the Indian wedding scene?" And I was like, "Dude, you're my first ones." So shout out to Jay Dobby, and Jay also is a cancer survivor. So if you guys can check out Jay Dobby, I think it's J Dobby NYC or something like that on Twitch. That's the homie. He definitely deserves it.
Yeah, thank you. So talking about, we could talk for hours, I'm
I
sure.
know.
Okay, there were two things I really most importantly want to touch on, which is you've had some mental health, anxiety challenges in a while,
Mm-hmm.
and also racism.
Mm-hmm.
So let's give a lesson to those young people who are. I mean, it's a challenging world. I
Let's
too have.
dissect.
Let's dissect. I'm a mixed woman of color. In case you didn't notice, I have blue eyes. They're real. They're not contacts.
Lies.
So
Those are some Bausch and Lomb, AccuView.
especially when I wear my glasses and people go, "Do you have contacts?"
See, so now you should just fuck with people and just like wear your glasses at all times. So they're just like, wait a minute, why does she have blue eyes?
Yeah, exactly.
I,
So
I don't
so
know. I don't know a lot of dark people who have blue eyes.
it's really a thing. So for myself, I have the challenge of you know, both races, white and black. But you mentioned something. We're not going to mention the airline, but you recently had, yes, we're going there. You recently had treated your family to a much needed vacation to Hawaii because you've been very stressed. You are Filipino, your wife is Italian, correct? What
That is
happened?
correct.
What
So,
happened?
whew, mind you guys, we're sitting in first class. And you could look up a first class flight from Newark to Honolulu. You expect a certain amount of service and a certain amount of respect. My wife and I are sitting down. It's about like 9 o'clock. Plane had just taken off. We are looking at each other. We're about here is where my wife was. And she's leaning into me. And we're talking. I forgot what we were talking about at the time. Flight attendant comes up to us. Excuse me. Yeah? Are you guys together? What? Are you guys together? My wife flashes her rings. Flashes. Yeah, we're married. Oh. She turned around and walked away. We knew that she knew she was wrong when she came back 5 minutes later with drinks, 4 shots of vodka, and said, here's another two for you on top, just so we're clear that we know where we stand together. My wife is like, what the fuck, Karen?
Which is already included in the cost of your ticket, by the way. But thank you.
Exactly. Guys, it's a $4,900 ticket. And she's coming over with 6 bottles of $5 vodka. Son, I paid you $4,900. That should include respect with that too. Even if I paid you $1, that should include respect too. Um, I have since written the airline. They had someone from the president's office call me immediately to discuss what happened, and they were like, "Oh, well, we really apologize. That person could definitely go for more training on how to deal with, um, race issues." All I got was, "We will try to do better," and I'm like, "Do you understand that you guys just exacerbated my anxiety from the situation, and you made what was supposed to be a fun 10-hour flight to Hawaii something that was just like, man, can you believe she said that?" So yeah, that was the first time that's ever happened to me directly with my wife standing next to me. It's happened to me all the time. It happens to me all the time on the golf course. I've been told that I don't belong on the golf course. I've been told that that golf course wasn't for me. I've been told by a father and son that I will hold them up if I play with them. I've had a another team say another twosome say to the starter, "Are you sure he could play with us? You know, is he any good? He could play with you. Are you sure? We're trying to finish this round in 3.5 hours." And you know, at my first course, the starter's like, "Dude, he's like a 5 handicap." Um,
So even with the success Tiger Woods has set for people,
yeah, and he's the reason
there's
why I play golf. He's the reason why I started with my dad.
wow, wow.
You know, I play golf because my brother always had my brother. Even though I excel at sports, my brother excelled at sports. You know, he had college looks for baseball, and I didn't. So I needed something that my father and I could do together. So you know, he's like, "Let's go play golf." I was like, "Okay." Um, Even though Tiger has done so much to break the barriers, and you know, KJ Choi being one of them, uh, so many so many uh, golfers of Asian descent. I mean, Asians in the female on the LPGA are just slaying it. We still get hated on, and the sad thing is, we get hated on by white people. We get hated on by black people. We get hated on by other Asians that aren't us. You know, so I'm a Filipino guy, so I'll get hate from from Korean people. I'll get hate from Chinese people, and we just got to do better as a society because it's bullshit. The color of my skin should not dictate what I can't do. I've even been asked by bouncers walking up to a club, Shannon, mind you, walking up to a club that I was a resident DJ at for 4 years, if I belonged there because it was hip hop night. And the other bouncer's like, "Bro, he's been our resident DJ. Yeah, yeah, he's good." And then after I go on and I slay the 3 hour set, on my way out, you know, the same dude who's just like, "Are you sure you belong there?" Is like, "Yo, you killed it," and is trying to give me a pound. "Yo, you got a mixtape? Yo, let me get a card. Send me some music." So
They overdo it. They
yeah,
overdo it at that point because they're like, "Oh, I done screwed up. I know it." And
exactly, like Karen did on the
like,
plane.
yeah, yeah. It's and it's very interesting because I'm well known for speaking up and speaking out about adversity, inclusion, and diversity. And with with all the BIPOC and everything. And I'm just going to tell you, people, black boxes, orange boxes, hashtag stop Asian hate is not enough.
Mm.
Is not enough. We have so much work that we need to do, and it starts with you as an individual, no matter how old you are. If you're older, if you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, do better, learn, educate. And quite honestly, I'm tired. I'm tired like Rosa Parks sitting in the back of the bus. She didn't do it to affect change. She was just tired of the bullshit that just kept on going, right? And that's what we all need to do, no matter what year that this is. Somebody said to me, "Oh, but there's so much change now. What does it matter?" No, we need to keep going because this just happened for you a month ago. And do you want to know what happened to me last week when I came back from Jamaica with my family? We were in, and we're Canadian, and we were targeted for the random testing, and they put the sticker on our passport. And as we're walking out, we're like, "Oh, that was really easy." Well, we spoke too soon. If you got a pink sticker, go to the right. If you've got a green one, go to the left. And the pink one was to go get retesting, even though we had followed all the protocols that we were supposed to, at $70 a pop. To US for us is like $100 Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
And to be told that we did it wrong and we had to go do another one. So, we had to go do that. And then as we're in the line at the end of our vacation, caused more stress. And I turned around, and my youngest son is 18, and he, we this was our first time traveling together. And he, he hears about mom talk about racism and diversity and all the time. And he knows I'm passionate about it, but he hasn't really experienced it, right? Like externally, especially the last couple of years. And I turned around and I looked, and by this point I was done. And I don't normally swear, but I learned, and I looked at the back of the line, and then I went, oh hell no, I'm not paying for this again. This is bullshit. You didn't even look at our stuff. This is ridiculous. I looked at the line, and in that long ass line of however long it was, of maybe 50 to 60 people, 4 white people.
Mm-hmm.
4. So
That's
no
like
offense.
that's like filling the quota, but for the other side.
Yeah. So don't tell me that Canada is, that we are so progressive and we are so far ahead. No. Unless you are walking it, unless you are a visible minority, no, you experience it every single day still, you know? And so we all need to do better, and yeah, we can friggin' be passionate about yeah.
Yeah, think about this, right? Think about this. When we're saying change, equate it to this, guys. Like you said, posting "Stop Asian Hate" black boxes. People are posting, "We stand with Ukraine. We stand with Ukraine." Ukrainian flags. Hashtag Ukraine this. Hashtag Ukraine that. And that's fucking great. It's beautiful. But then you go over and you turn around and you say, I'm not paying $5 for a fucking gallon of gas. So you don't want to experience any heartache from your pocket, but you want to stand with the country. And when it comes to what is now being said as a potential ban of any Russian oil, that may potentially increase gas prices. Guys, you need to understand how gas prices work. It's OPEC that controls gas prices. One country cannot control gas prices. It's a collective group. Russia just happens to be a part of OPEC. Okay, so if we ban Russian oil, I think it's like 9 million barrels of oil, of crude oil a day that they export. It can be made up somewhere else. But, and that will stagger Russia's economy while we support Ukraine. But you want to sit here and say, I support Ukraine, I stand Ukraine, but you want to bitch about gas prices being $5? There are people that are dying over there, legitimately dying over there, for a country that was predominantly peaceful.
It's really tough. So I'm going to be kind of the devil's advocate here, because I know everyone's going to have an opinion about it. But if you think about it this way as well, yes, I totally understand that. But we are all coming off of a pandemic, and everybody in some sort of way financially has also taken a hit, right? With jobs and things like that. So I can totally empathize and understand their situation. I totally get what you're saying too. I mean, 100%. But when I look at like my daughter, for example, who's just starting out and having challenges as well, and said to me like, Mom, I'm concerned about the gas prices. Like I totally get it. I can see both sides for sure. I'm not trying to sit on the fence, but yeah, I totally get exactly what you're saying.
No, I definitely understand that
Yeah,
that it's life. It's hard.
it's hard. It's hard. So
We have to adult, but we also have to be better people while we adult, guys.
it is. We have to think about what it is we're saying before. Like we can't be hypocritical in nature. You gotta find
Right.
that,
Yeah,
right?
that's definitely the point. Is like,
Yeah,
hey, you have people that post Black Lives Matter, yet they go out and they support a business that inherently treats black people like shit. And
yep,
there's a lot of those businesses out there, um, that do that. So it's just like you can't say one thing and then teeter on this side because it suits you at that point, and then go completely to the opposite if it suits you on that point. It's like that's why I'm neither a Republican or a Democrat. I stand in the middle because sometimes I'm going to lean to the right, sometimes I'm going to lean to the left. But when it comes to treating people right, I am always going to treat people right. And politics should never, never get in the way of you treating somebody right
exactly.
at
Yep,
all.
100%. So in terms
Sorry.
of, that's
Just,
okay. No, yeah, for sure. I know the safe words.
yeah.
Okay, so definitely you have faced a lot of challenges. So racially, we've touched on that too. And then you were saying something about your Crohn's. You apologized the other day because you had some physical challenge, but now
Mm-hmm.
also recently anxiety has
Mm-hmm.
started. So how are you working through that and then continuing, your journey of because you're a very scheduled individual. I mean, even trying to schedule this live with you was really tough, and thank you for that. I respect you tremendously.
Oh yeah,
So
thank you for always supporting.
yeah, so how,
Uh,
how do you work through that in your day?
so the first time that I ever had the bout with Crohn's, I didn't even know what it was. My wife and I had gotten married, and on our honeymoon, we spent 2 weeks in Italy as part of a tour. On our honeymoon, first flare up, I was like, man, maybe I caught a parasite out here, maybe something. And I was going to the bathroom 10, 15 times. How uncomfortable is that, guys? 10, 15 times. At least Italians have beautiful bathrooms, and most of them are private, and everything is gorgeous out there.
What a romantic
Um,
honeymoon. Yes,
oh
sorry.
God, it was the shit. Uh,
Literally.
I see what you did there. So that was the first time that I experienced it, and then after I got diagnosed, uh, they wanted to put me on this cocktail of steroids and medication, and I thought to myself, I'm going to make my body even more sick to treat the inflammation that my body's attacking itself, because that's what Crohn's is. It's your intestines um, being inflamed and attacking itself. So I manage that multiple ways. One, I am in acupuncture 2 to 3 days a week. Right, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday in acupuncture. 1 hour there. Two, therapy. I needed to be able to unpack what this disease did to me, not just to my body, but to my mind, because I had to completely change the way that I see things, the way that things that I can and can't do. And I hate saying the word can't because I always believe that you can, but I need to understand wherever I am now, where's the bathroom? How many steps is it to get to that bathroom? Especially since I work in sports. Do I have the opportunity to? So I'm 100% forthcoming to anybody that I work with in a sports capacity, because during a 4 hour game, we're already there for 8 to 12 hours. If it's a bad day, like I've had some bad days working the Big Ten, and I'm back in the bathroom, 10, 11 times, I got to be on the headset saying, all right, guys, listen, we're going to commercial. Let's let the band play, and I'm going to take a bathroom break. 120 steps to the bathroom, 120 steps back. So that's how I manage that. Just and being able to speak to other people. I donate a lot of my time and effort to fundraising for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. So thank you to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation for allowing me to be a part of your team. So that's how I manage that. What's really hard about anxiety is because it's so hard to manage. You don't know what brings out the anxiety in you. So I have to keep a journal on what I do. I keep a journal on my heart rate. I keep a journal on how my heart is feeling. I keep a journal on how my mind is feeling. Emotionally, how am I today? What have I experienced in the past 6 months? Because it could take up to 6 months for a panic attack to come out, for an anxiety attack to come out. And then I have anxiety attacks that can lead to panic attacks. Right? So the main difference between anxiety and panic is anxiety is caused by your external, your panic is caused by your internal. So when I have a panic attack, it's, oh my God, am I having a heart attack today? Is today the day that I'm going to die? You want to know what brought this on? 2015, I'm driving to my parents' house and I blacked out.
Wow.
I blacked out. I had
While driving?
while driving.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I had what the doctors say is a potentially a mild heart attack that was from me taking migraine medication. So I used to suffer from migraines, 4 to 5 days a week. And I was on this new migraine medication. Hey, it's the shit. It works. 99.9% of our patients approve of it. No real side effects. You may have some heart issues, but you're a pretty young guy. Yeah, I was that 0.1%. I blacked out while I was driving on the road, and whenever I was driving after that for the next like 2 3 years, anxious, anxious, and I didn't understand what
Which
was
made it
going on.
worse.
Yeah, and my father-in-law was in a car accident because he had a stroke while he was driving. So mine happened, his happened, and then it's just like shit, shit. So all that, like, and eventually all that tension that you build up has to release like a rubber band, right? So when it released, my first massive anxiety attack was during pandemic. I'm standing on the golf course, par five, and it's a par five that I normally do really well on.
That you were actually allowed to go into. Yeah.
Yes, that I'm actually allowed to go and play. It's my golf. It's my country club now.
Okay.
So, and I don't own it, but I am a member there, guys.
Right.
So par
Sorry,
five,
I
I'm
just had to
standing
be
there.
cheeky and add that in.
I'm getting ready. I'm envisioning the shot, and I get dizzy. My knees get weak. The world starts spinning, and I start getting super emotional. I'm normally a controlled, even keeled kind of person. I told my playing partners like, "Hey guys, I'm out. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna get indoors." My heart rate was 130. My blood pressure, which is normally 119 over 70, had shot all the way up to 180 over 99, which is you're pretty much in a pre-stroke.
Oh my gosh.
And I got home, and my wife was like, "You're home real early from golf," and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I just needed to come home. I needed to come home." We walked the dog, and I slept. The next day, I slept. 2 days later, I slept. I slept for 4 days, and it was like it's not even good sleep. It was just my mind needed a break. And now the anxiety that I have, like, I feel it here in the chest. It's not like tightness or it's an uneasy feeling.
Right.
And for the most part, it's pretty good, Shannon. But days even like today, like today is not a great day. Um, I think to myself, shit, am I going to cause a panic attack today? To where I feel like I am dying,
Brother. Do you
and
find the more
that makes it hard.
scheduled you are, like how do you manage it now? Because in your stream you talk greatly about Peloton and working out and all those different things, and I'm sure it's diet now, exercise,
Mm-hmm.
and good on you for also going for therapy. There's no shame in that. If there's anybody who's listening or watching, do those things. And even if you feel that overwhelm, do one thing that Yoshi is suggesting. Just take that one thing and do it well, and then add something else.
Yeah,
Even if you can't afford a Peloton or gym, go outside, take your animal for a walk, get an animal, right?
walk in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Walking in the sunlight is probably one of the best things that you could do for yourself. SAD really does exist, guys. So SAD is your body's reaction to not getting enough sunlight. So yeah, during the winter I get sad, which is like why I love going away for vacations during the winter because most of the time football season's done. I don't really work in basketball anymore, except for college basketball, but that's February and March and sometimes April. So after Christmas is done and after the football season's done and wrapped up, I can go on vacation. during the past 2 years, I wasn't able to go on vacation. So I wasn't getting that extra sun that my body needed. Um, and that really, really takes a toll on you. So the first thing that you could do to better yourself and to better your mental spirit is to go for a walk, take your shoes off, take your socks off, ground yourself. There is something that happens to your body when you put your toes on sand, water, or grass. Sand, water, or grass. Your body releases endorphins to help fight all the bullshit that you're going through. And they just don't know what it is. But whenever your bare feet are on sand, water, or grass, it's always a great thing. So I try to manage both, and thankfully, managing the Crohn's is the same as managing anxiety. Acupuncture is great. Ear points, trigger points, sand jowl points right here, pain points that you can press down right here if you're feeling it. On a day that I'm really feeling anxious, it's just I meditate 3 times a day, which has been a game changer. Um, and yeah, I work out like a beast. So I'll work out one to an hour and a half a day.
That's amazing. So I know, you just came off of a long stream. So thank
Yeah.
you again so much for, rating into me and giving a little bit more insight. Yosh, we love you so much,
Oh, thank you.
and
Love you
we are
too.
so blessed to have you and your talent and you as a human being in our life. So thanks for sharing. Any final tip to someone who may be struggling right now?
Yeah, if you're starting, no matter what you're doing, if you're starting out in life, set yourself attainable goals, and that's how you keep going. So if you're struggling or you're starting, set yourself attainable goals, because if you're struggling, those attainable goals can help lift you up. Like if you can't get out of bed, you're having a hard time getting out of bed, or you're struggling with that mentally in a day. Goal number one, covers off. Goal number two, out of bed. Goal number three, brush your teeth. Goal number four, glass of water. Goal number five, take a shower. If you can get out of bed and do that, then it's okay. I accomplished that. What else can I accomplish? The same goes for your career. Starting out, a lot of people like to say, I'm going to win a Grammy. I'm going to get a platinum plaque. I'm going to make a hit. Set yourself goals that you can control. You can't win a Grammy unless, XYZ, unless, we vote for you. You can't win a plaque unless people buy the album. But what you can do is you could set the goal. I'm going to make one song today. I'm going to make 2 songs today. I'm going to make 5 songs every day for the next 30 days. Chances are, after you're done and you take those 150 songs, one of those songs may go out for placement. And then you can get a plaque. Then you can win a Grammy. Same goes for, anybody. Just set yourself 5 attainable goals. And that's how you can propel yourself into a better habit and a better space mentally. And hopefully you're fulfilled after you achieve each goal. So that's my takeaway from life.
You're a beautiful human. I
You
adore you
are.
so much, brother. Like I'm just smiling. I know I'm just smiling. Like I can't help it. I can
We
listen
went
to you
from
all
crying to
day.
smiling.
I know. So I honor you. Thank you for those tips. For everybody watching, thank you so much for tuning into our show. Please check out Yoshi. We included his information in the intro. It's going to be in the outro as well. We included the banner. He's got Discord. He's got so many things available. And
So many
truly, if you're
things.
having a bad day, check out his schedule and just come on into the Twitch family. We are truly, it's like we're our community, and it's like we're a family. It is so great. And yeah, again, Yoshi, thank you so much for your time. To
Thank you.
everybody watching, have a blessed day. Hopefully you were inspired by something that we said today. There is no shame in asking for help, and reach out to somebody in the community. And most importantly, have the plan. And the plan may change, but never change the goal. So I'm Shannon Murree with Inspiring Change. This is my brother Yoshi. Oh, over here, it's my brother Yoshi. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Have a blessed day.